All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. I'm downtown Santa Barbara, about to go work out at one of the gyms I go to when I'm here. It's right off Main Street, actually, which is that way. And it's in between that and Chapala, which is over there. So, and there's Main Street's down that way. So anyways, what I want to talk about right now is actually one thing, is Gold's Gym. This is kind of an old school Gold's Gym. It's smaller, kind of quaint, like they used to be years ago when I used to go to them. At least the ones I went to. They were just much smaller than the gyms now, like LA Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, Lifetime Fitness. These are monsters. But originally a lot of Gold's Gyms, World's Gyms, those type of gyms were much smaller. And one of the things I do love going to these type of gyms, these smaller gyms, is getting back to the basics. And that's what I want to call this video. I think with all the different things out there regarding working out, with all the different types of equipment, all the different types of workouts, all these different types of classes you could take, it's kind of gets a little overwhelming regarding that. So what I want to talk about today is really just people learning how to get to the basics again. And I do this quite often, actually. And when I mean going back to the basics, it's just simple workouts that I used to do back in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s. And that could be if I'm benching, squatting, deadlifting, just using dumbbells, not getting so caught up in all the different type of equipment. Now, I'm not here to bum rap all the different type of equipment, because I love using all this different equipment. And for the most part, I'm usually in an LA Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness, all those type of gyms now more than ever, because those are the ones that I've been working out, and I was a member to over the last, 10 years. And I also like going to a lot of independent gyms too, but back to the basics. If people sometimes, when you go back to the basics regarding anything you do in your life, you'd be shocked at the results you get. Because I think a lot of times we get busy always trying new things, which I am 100% about. Don't think I'm all about evolving, trying different workouts, different things. But sometimes when you hit these sticky points or you want to get certain types of results, you're going to maybe have to think, how did I originally get the gains that I got originally? Because I think a lot of us, when we first started working out, especially if you worked out in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you started to get certain results. And when it came to working out, what you were doing was, a lot of times, was the basics. Now, again, there's so many different things out there, but if you just say, for instance, go to a gym and start, just say for a month and say, listen, I'm going back to where I started. I almost call it like when Arnold and Franco and them did, pumping iron and stuff. If you kind of go back to the basics and watch them, how they worked out, it was really kind of simple, but kind of hardcore. And in my opinion, that's where I also got some of my best results. So it would, like I was just explaining, like benching, just a straight bar. Also just dumbbells. If I was curling, straight bar, some dumbbells. If I'm doing back, just some deadlifts and some rows, things in that nature. Also, say shoulder presses. I like to do a lot of things where I don't use a backrest, but just straight bar presses, dumbbell presses, just simple exercises where you can't cheat, I guess you could say, because a lot of times with a lot of equipment, I don't think people realize you kind of can maneuver it where you're cheating. You can lean back a certain way, you can kind of work one side of your body more than the other. But if you just go back to the basics and hardcore stuff, straight bar and dumbbells, you can't cheat, especially if you're doing dumbbells. I mean, basically that's going to expose you, your body and your muscles, for exactly how they are, if one's stronger than the other. That a lot of times that goes even when you're squatting. Going back to the basics, just squat your ass off. Doing lunges, very simple exercises, but when you do them, you have to put the intensity into them. So that was just really what I wanted to do, because I was kind of going back to the basics with Gold's Gym, and I was thinking, when I sometimes just want to get nuts and kind of just go back to my roots, and when I work out and I go back to the basics, it's kind of a nostalgic type feel, even after the way I feel after I'm done working out. Because I'll tell you right now, if you kind of get away from equipment for a while and just go kind of hardcore, simple exercises and put some intensity into them, you're going to be shocked at your results. One of the reasons a lot of these type of workouts stuck around for the last 50 years was because they worked, which are very simple movements. and they gave people great results, and I don't think they're going anywhere. So anyways, I'm going to leave it at that. So if you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show, WTF Are You Talking About? I'm also on LinkedIn, Facebook, what am I, Instagram, Twitter. But yeah, get to the basics, all right, when working out. And that's all I got for you. Take care, and if you're traveling, safe travels.